Well, this is the 8th day of June, and we're out here at the Silver Queen Mine, getting ready to talk to the boss, the Chief Financial Officer and CEO, I think, also.
Just the CEO.
Okay, just the CEO.
We have a Chief Financial Officer here on site as well.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, sir, maybe you could explain to me the state of the art of Silver Queen Mine right now.
Okay. Well, something that's a little bit different from prior. Golden Queen Mine, we operate the Soledad Mine as a single entity. Golden Queen LLC, we are a private company, owned 60% with the Thomas Clay family and 40% with the Jeffries Financial Group out of New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been private since 2019. And so we've been in operation here since 2016 in actual operation, mining and making gold.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually done quite a bit of activity since the last time that you were out here. Specifically in 2020 and 2021, we had a substantial investment here on site in terms of had a contract mining company in and did additional stripping for us, as well as we did an expansion to the heap leach operation where we put a new heap leach pad in. So with those two items, as well as some updates to the processing for the metallurgical side, we've been able to increase our operations and increasing gold production here substantially this last year.
And what do you mine besides gold?
Well, right now we are a primarily gold and silver producer, but we're also an aggregate supplier as well. So we produce probably around 200,000 tons per year, permitted up to about 500,000 tons per year to mine off property here.
Mm-hmm. And where does that aggregate go?
You know, it stays pretty much in the region here. You know, quite a bit of road construction, some of the landscaping construction across the county here and within the vicinity.
Mm-hmm. And what's the staff to run a place like this?
Well, currently we're running about 250 employees. We're budgeted a little bit more at 300, so we're still in the process of bringing more people on at this point in terms of whether entry-level operators and people out in the field or more seasoned, experienced mechanics and electricians as well. So we're definitely trying to increase the headcount here.
Well, that is good news for us locally. Jobs are scarce here, as you may know.
That's right.
And you're now a big employer, and we appreciate that. And what are the long-term prospects for a mine like this? How long does it last?
Well, right now, in fact, we just completed a new life of mine study with the additional drilling that we've done over the last couple of years. So in basically trying to improve or increase the reserves and the resources. So currently we have enough active reserves to mine through 2029 and then continue on leaching a few years after that.
Uh-huh.
The ore body itself is still open-ended at the perimeters and at depth, so we will continue to have additional drilling in the next few years to actually expand those reserves out even further.
Oh, I see. So that's good. That's has a good long-term prospect to it. Yeah. That's good. And so if local people wanted to invest, is it possible? But a private company usually doesn't take more investors.
That's true. Since we are a private company, we would not have a stock option for anybody to purchase stock. So.
Uh-huh. And will that whole mountain go down flat?
No, not at all. We have to where it'll be mined out in different sections, and we backfill in certain areas as well as part of a reclamation plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a fascinating project, and as you know, this whole area has been a mining area for many years, and a lot of small-time claimers operate here even now.
That's right. It was back into the late 1800s, early 1900s. It was specifically an underground operation here. Underground operations continued up until World War II, and then it was shut down at that time. And the interest to get back to the mining here was in the 1990s, and more in particular from the 2010 to the 2020 time frame was where we picked up a lot.
Right. Well, I know it took a long time to get the permits to open it up. I can remember the guy that was here. We started feeling sorry for him because he'd been around 10 years or so and still trying to get permits from Kern County. But eventually he persevered and got it done.
Yes, and fortunately, yes, and we're operating now because of that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, good. I'd be a pleasure, and my viewers would have great pleasure in taking a little quick tour and seeing how things are going.
Okay, well, that sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Our aggregate producer here, MRC.
Do you make those?
These come from Golden Queen ore.
Oh, okay.
So the outfit that does the aggregate, they produce those and get those carved and shaped.
Really? And sell them commercially?
Well, no, actually, these we provide out to our employees on after 5 years of service.
I see.
Provide them a sphere here.
What a nice idea. And how about the other stuff? It looks like you got some rocks here.
Some ore samples. We also have done some samples where on the aggregate side where they're producing some of this material for sale. So this is more of a test to be able to do some additional.
But I think it came back good, so yes, we are.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you give them a holler and let them know we're going to be up there?
Yeah, are you in your pickup?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, I will. Where are you at right now?
I'm just heading up towards the water tanks.
Oh, okay. You're coming from admin?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to main pit, right?
Yeah.
From the west side, I guess. Yeah, that's the only way to get over there. Okay. Yeah, I'll give them a holler.
Okay. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, you bet, guys.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah, Kern County will be happy to view this part of the YouTube to see dust control. They get so many complaints from people. So
getting ready to back up and direct dump into the hopper on the primary. And so
that's a primary crusher, you're telling me?
Yeah, it's the primary crusher. It's the first step in a 3-stage crushing process.
Okay.
So you'll get a good picture here just in a minute.
Okay, so the raw rocks are going into that to be...
That's our ore. We've already separated in the pit.
Okay.
Waste versus ore. So he's direct dumping into the hopper, and it'll process. In fact, at the front of the platform, you'll see an engine or a motor that's vibrating. That's part of the jaw. So the jaw is going to take 42-inch minus boulders and break them down to 12-inch and less.
Wow.
Or 6-inch and less, excuse me.
Wow.
Then they'll follow this conveyor into this coarse ore stockpile.
Yeah.
Then underneath this coarse ore stockpile, you ready for me to move?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's chutes. I think there's 4 chutes. Is that correct, Mark? Is it 3 or 4? I think it's 4. So the rock migrates down to those chutes, ends up on conveyor. So what you're seeing, it runs through what's called the banana screen there. And it ends up into a cone crusher. So that device you see with the orange ring, it's got a big bowl on the top of it. So the material, when it feeds through the banana screen, some of it resorts, but it all ends up in that bowl, and the bowl vibrates it, and it takes it down into a cone crusher. It's constantly oscillating like this.
I see.
And so it breaks it down into 3-inch minus material.
Okay.
Okay. So it comes out of that, it runs up a belt that goes over the road into the fine ore bin on your right.
Okay.
So that's the fine ore bin, and then it meters out into our high pressure grinding roller system down at the base. And there it breaks it down to 1/4 inch, 75% passing 1/4 inch screen.
Wow.
And micro fractures, and we add a trace amount of cement to create what's called agglomeration. And so when it goes out on the pad, and I'll just take you around the corner so you can get a look at that HPGR stacking.
And are you running 24/7?
Yes. We're only shut down 48 hours a year officially.
Okay. Wow, look at all this.
Yeah. So the HPGR.
So, look at
So the big silo you see, that's for the cement. The drum you see rotating is part of the agglomeration. Just to the right, before it gets to that agglomeration, is the high pressure grinding rollers.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it flows out, it goes onto a tripper cart you see extending out.
Yeah.
So then it puts it onto these grasshoppers. These are all called grasshoppers. All these conveyor belts. It moves over to a stacker, a radial stacker here that sweeps back and forth and creates windrows of material.
Oh, I see. Sure.
So we stack in roughly 30-foot lifts. So the dozer's always pushing out the windrows as we're working. And then he'll go through and he'll do ripping, and then we have to lay in the irrigation system with drip emitters.
Yeah.
Right? And the solution that's being recycled through the plant where we strip the gold out, it's constantly sending solution to the zones that we tell it to.
I see. Sure.
And then, so the solution has a trace amount of cyanide in it, and it percolates down through. As it does, that cyanide is attracting and leaching out or pulling out the gold and silver from the microfractured ore.
Sure.
So
Sure.
we're permitted. We produce millions of tons of waste overburden every year that serves as the raw material for aggregates. And our aggregates, you can break aggregates up into 2 different categories of products: construction and landscaping materials.
So what size is the rock? Different sizes?
It's different. So what you see, this slope on the other side of these piles, that's our waste. That's part of our waste dump. And what you're seeing ahead of us is a crushing plant that is used to produce various products. We can produce 4 different products simultaneously as they load into.
Oh, really?
It's smaller scale than what you saw on the side of the hill that we use for gold and silver.
Yeah.
And with this process, we use a combination of crushing and various screens to make different sizes and different types of products.
Okay.
So you can either have straight crushed product, or you can have a mixed product where like if you call for a 3/4 inch crushed material, then you have very little fines in it, right? But you can also call out for a road-based material like you see along 14.
Right.
So that's 1.5 inch base, and so it's not clean crushed material, but there's a certain percentage that's 3/4 inch versus a certain percentage of smaller particle size.
Got it.
Okay? But this plant will produce, we can produce 5,000 tons a day out of this plant easily over a 10-hour shift.
Really?
And we can produce as many as 4 different products simultaneously.
Incredible. Now these mountains I'm looking at.
These are waste dumps.
Yeah, okay, right in front of me?
Yes.
That's waste dump.
That is all waste overburden that is a byproduct of getting to the ore.
To get to the ore.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we're unique. There's very few mines, precious metals mines, that are permitted for aggregates. That's what set us apart, with the permitting process here in California. But the nice thing about it is you can say that we're recycling everything, all of the waste that we generate.
Sure. Well, it's needed out here.
Yes.
This is a growing area, and
Yes.
we're building roads and houses.
And the number of permitted resources keeps shrinking.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, the products, what we do very well at in construction applications
Yeah.
is road-based material, structural fill material, and then you go into the decorative side of things. People prize our material for its beautiful colors and patterns. And you can see the patterns when it gets bigger, and I'll show you some example boulders when we loop around.
Okay.
People love the gold. We produce gold colors and red colors. And for landscaping, it's very striking.
Wow.
So
For sure.
historically, if you go down to the LA basin and you look at where they
Yes.
they have they've imported that material in from as far away as Central America.
Wow.
So
Wow.
they've also brought a lot in from Arizona over the years. But I envision us becoming the leading supplier, not just in California, but regionally for landscape applications.
Really?
At the end of mine life, as it stands right now,
Yeah.
we'll have literally 150 million tons of waste product.
Wow.
That we can convert into aggregates products.
Sure.
See here, you can get a
Now here you can.
get an idea of the vivid colors, and when you add water, you know, if you put them into water features, they pop even more.
Yeah. And that's no good for you. You don't want that stuff.
No.
For ore.
For us, it's below what's called our cutoff grade. I mean, some of it is ore containing, but it's just not profitable to extract it.
Yeah. Now, can the public buy those boulders if they wanted to landscape with them or decorate with them and stuff?
We don't sell directly to the public, but there's a place. Have you ever heard of Majestic Palms? I think they're in Lancaster, Palmdale.
Are they?
But they stock a lot of landscaping material, and some of it they buy from us. We're also getting into the True Value Hardware that changed ownership. It's going to be Carl's up in Tehachapi.
Yes.
But,
Eric about that.
Where water is a concern in the state of California, we see the opportunity to be a key provider for xeriscape, you know, getting rid of the grass. Right?
Sure.
Gravel blanket lawns and nice ornamental rock features. So this entire operation is run by a strategic business partner of ours. And they're based out of Santa Paula. Their name is Santa Paula Materials.
Yeah.
But here the local business is named MRC Rock and Sand.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're vertically integrated. They handle not only the processing, production of materials, they also do the sales. That's all part of another business partner named Petra, and they provide blasting services for us.
Oh yeah.
Up in the pit.
Nobody's complained to us about blasting. Do you blast much?
We blast every day and a half or 2 days on average.
Really? Gee, that's good. You must keep it quiet because usually our phone rings when people are disturbed, you know?
I think
We get more sonic booms.
yes.
Worse than the blast.
Yeah, lots of different colors. Yeah, look at the colors. Now these trucks that are running,
Yes.
they're hauling the ore.
Yes.
I'm sure I'm going to see a big shovel up here that's filling them up.
Yep.
And so then they're bringing them down to the crusher.
In part, they'll haul waste, the waste dumps like you saw.
Oh, I see. Sure.
Part of the time, and then they'll haul ore directly to the crusher. Part of the time when they're hauling to the crusher, they're direct dumping like you saw.
Yeah.
Part of the time they're dumping into a stockpile.
I see.
So it's all choreographed. We have what's called a dispatch system, and of course there's a mine plan that spans out many years, but it's constantly in flux in the close window. But
Sure.
things like that's a 100-ton haul truck, by the way.
100 ton. Okay. And is it electric or diesel or?
It's diesel. And
Diesel.
we raised the sides. You can see some rails on the sides because our material's low density. So being lower density, it's about 1.85 tons per cubic yard. Okay, so we put the sides on it because we can fill the truck beyond what the normal capacity is in the emergency.
Right.
Because it's lower. I think we just got a big order for a water banking project there in Rosamond. John, you aware of another water banking project?
Oh yeah. Yes, that water bank has a long history. But they're getting ready to open it pretty soon. They're in the final stages, and it'll reclaim about 1,000 acre feet, maybe 1,200, but they can enlarge it. But it started off in 2009, and the idea was to reclaim the water and then sell it to the school district in the LA County, but that never went anywhere.
No.
That they couldn't. I don't know whether they had the right people out selling it. I don't think they did. But
am I going the right way, Mark?
No, we got to
switch back again. I never get up here.
Sorry, Alan, I should have drove.
No, that's all right. I do the general direction. I just try to stay out of areas that I'm not involved in. Yeah, I didn't realize there was another couple of switchbacks.
But
what's the bucket capacity, Mark? Is it 22 or 24?
It is, liter basis, it's about 16 cubic meters.
15 cubic meters. 16, okay. How many of those to fill up a truck?
4 of those to fill a truck.
4 to fill a truck. We'll say
Like the view?
way up here at the top, yeah, the view. Yeah, I like to call that Oviatt Forest down there because Lorelei Oviatt put all of that in.
Yeah.
She's a Rosamond native, and there was nothing there, as you know, for years and years.
Yep.
And then the solar and the windmills started coming, and she negotiated all of those for the county. In fact, I think her department was the only one that was bringing in money. All the other ones were spending it.
Oh, yeah.
So where does the gold go? Does it go to industrial, or does it go to jewelry, or?
we sell it to one customer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I think there's, see, our gold and silver, when we produce bars,
Yeah.
they're considered a doré bar. And
Okay.
it's because the gold and silver are all together in the same bar.
Uh-huh.
The technology to split all of it is very expensive,
Yeah.
and I believe there's only 2 refiners left in the United States. Is that correct?
I believe so.
So ours goes to you.
On it when he's airing it up, but it's still won't
Yeah,
plate.
that's good.
And DR4,
Nice background.
he needs
Yeah, the colors.
somebody to get up there and jump it so he can finish his pressure washing with the Mazda.
First started here, I was told there's 30 miles worth of shafts and adits on
Really?
from previous mining operations.
Uh-huh.
Those 3 are remnants there.
Yeah. Yeah, underground.
Yep.
No, tell me that again.
So the material you see on the slope, that's waste material.
Yeah.
So out of our active pit that we were just in, that's where they're dumping and pushing material down in. This was one of our original pits, they're backfilling with
see.
the waste.
I see.
Yep.
I see. So, Alan, tell me now, you were mentioning it's hard to find good people, which all of us feel, no matter what size the business, but what about young people coming into mining?
I highly recommend it to young people. If they want a career path, it's one of the industries you still can get into and develop your skills. The employers will help you in that process. I've run across a lot of people that have worked their way up from operator level to high level management.
Yeah.
And mines are such that people don't realize this is very similar to petroleum, that the materials that we produce in mining is used in so many industries, virtually every industry.
Sure.
So there's always work out there.
Sure. And what would a high school student do to prepare themselves to be easily hired by a mining company? What would you do?
Well, we hire people in as operators with 0 operating experience.
Okay.
And it's in the $21 an hour range.
Uh-huh.
Starting pay.
Starting pay.
If a person wants to start developing their skill set prior to getting out into the career path,
Yeah.
then I strongly suggest pursuing a vocation similar to welding, maintenance
Oh, yeah.
related.
Uh-huh.
Plenty of trade schools out there.
Sure.
So if you can work on the heavy equipment, certainly the pay scale is much higher. Coming in with those skills.
Sure. And you use the big equipment pretty hard out here.
Yes.
You test it.
Yes. As much as we operate, we have to maintain. We hate doing that, but you have to.
But you have to, totally come apart.
Yeah. And for the people that enjoy seeing the world, the nice thing about mining is that you can have, every mine is project based, and it can be relatively short duration, like 10 years. It can go on like U.S. Borax has been going for 100 years, right?
Right.
There's opportunities to go to a lot of different places throughout the world.
Now is this men and women?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We employ. You'd be shocked by the number of equipment operators we have that are women. Because most women, I don't think would see that as
think about it right away. No.
But some of our best operators are women. I'm not sure what it is. They're maybe more conscientious. They're not as reckless as a young guy like I was.
Right. So there's opportunity. $21 an hour starting pay. That's pretty interesting. We should have told our graduates at Rosamond High School last week about that. Yeah.
The other side of that too, John, is for a person that likes an unusual work schedule, like our mining crews, we operate 3 separate crews, and they work 4 12-hour days, and then they're off 4 days.
Oh, really?
So you end up with a 4-day weekend every week.
Gee, that's great.
Yes.
I wish I would have known about that. Well, yeah, that's really you ought to come and talk to some of the high school classes about that. In fact, I'm going to mention it to the superintendent and the principal and say, you got to get Alan or some of these guys to come and talk to your students, man, because they don't know about this.
Yeah, if there's a career day, we'd be glad to send a couple of people over.
Okay, I'll be sure to mention it. They're all resting now because the school year's over. They graduated them all, and and they're gone, and they'll be back going again in a couple of weeks. But I'll be sure to tell them. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the tour and the brief introduction to the mine process here. Now, if somebody wanted to apply for a job here, what do they do?
They could go to our website.
Go to the website.
www.soledadmining.com.
Okay.
Yes. And we're also on, I believe we're on LinkedIn now. And what's the other one, Mark? Like Monster, or I can't remember the other. But if they just.
But if they typed in the mine name, it would take them there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, good. Well, thanks again, and I'll pass along.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the invitation and the thorough tour, which I didn't get last time because you didn't have it yet. But now you've done a lot of work.
Yep, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming out.
You're welcome.